Hey gorgeous, so I just wanted to make this video for you and talk to you about what it means to be a magnetic woman in 2021. So to me, being a magnetic woman truly means that you embody your feminine and use your feminine to lead in all areas of your life, right? So if we think about what being magnetic means for us as women, right? It's like this energy and essence of drawing in what we want, drawing in the love, the attention, the money, the opportunity, the experience. And in order to tap into your feminine magnetism, you have to be in your body. And it is near impossible for most women, the modern woman, to feel safe and at home in her body because we have so much unprocessed emotion, pain, trauma that's actually stuck inside our body and in our nervous system. So for a lot of women, when you hear me talking about pleasure and sensuality, it feels often unattainable because in order to tap into your sensuality, in order to experience more pleasure in your life, you have to feel safe and at home in your body. But if you have a lot of unprocessed emotion, pain, and trauma, it's really hard to. Now, you couple that with the reality that for the last, 3,500 years, we've been taught as humans, right? We've been conditioned to believe that women and the feminine energy is worth less than men and the masculine energy. That is, in essence, what the patriarchy is. The patriarchy is the system of elevating men and the masculine and oppressing and suppressing women and the feminine. Now, let's be real. In 2021, as a woman, we have so much more freedom, liberties, opportunity than our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers. And yet, the biggest area that I see women still deeply disempowered, extremely and undereducated, is pleasure, your sexual power, sensuality, right? And so that's where so much of my content lives and focuses on, because for me, tapping into your sensuality, your sexual power as a woman, is what sparks and keeps that flame of magnetism burning inside of you. Now, for the modern woman, you're in your head, you're judging yourself, criticizing yourself, shaming yourself, because we've been taught by the patriarchy that we have to constantly monitor who and what we are as women. So this is why what I call the tightrope of enoughness comes up. You're afraid to be too much, but also afraid you're not enough at the same time, right? So we're constantly self-monitoring, constantly judging, criticizing ourselves, basically impaling ourselves with the patriarchy on a regular basis. So for the modern woman to be magnetic, to embody her feminine leadership, she has to deprogram the patriarchy. She has to deprogram the religious conditioning that has taught us that our sexual power, our sexual essence is dangerous, it's wrong, it's bad. Because within our sexual power is our personal power. Why else would the patriarchy spend thousands of years and so much propaganda to try and convince us otherwise? So for me, what it means to be a magnetic woman is to truly embody my feminine leadership in all areas of my life. So bringing my feminine pleasure, sensuality, feminine principles to my relationship, my friendships, my business, how I interact with money, how I live, how I move through the world, how I create and uphold boundaries in my life. Being a magnetic woman, it's a lifestyle, it's an archetype. And the way you do that is through embodied feminine leadership. And I think it's really important that for you, the overachieving, the successful woman, the powerful woman who is living in her head, who is probably doing a lot, if not all of the emotional labor in relationships, who has a tendency to overgive, to overcommit, to overshow up, trying to be perfect, priding yourself on being the independent woman and not needing anyone and struggling to be vulnerable. Really learning how to embody your feminine leadership is going to open you up to be unapologetic, turned on, radiant, happy, fulfilled, feeling like you're met in romantic partnerships, being able to express your needs, wants, and desires. So if you're ready to embody your feminine leadership, I invite you into two different things right now. One is the embodied, in-person, private, customized, luxury intensive, because pleasure has healing properties, right? It's not just superficial and about bubble baths. We can use pleasure, luxury, sensuality as we heal to actually quantum leap, to expedite the healing. So I have spaces available for the Embodied Intensive in New York City, Paris, and Florence. And you can go ahead and see that in the details below. And if you want something smaller and with other women, I invite you to join me in the Pleasure Mind, which is the embodied feminine leadership version of a mastermind. Because let's be real, masterminds are so 2010 that some like old white guy decided this was the way to be successful. I don't believe that. So in the Pleasure Mind, we use feminine principles and feminine embodiment practices, sisterhood, and connection to fuel impact, income, and intimacy in your life. And you can check that out below as well. So I hope that if you feel pulled to really activate your own embodied feminine leadership, that you join me in either a private intensive or the Pleasure Mind.